Brilliant.
Good evening and welcome to the All Hands Public Update, an opportunity to celebrate the 4 years of empowering people to take responsibility for their own health, and also to celebrate St. George's Day. The theme tonight is connection, building a healthy, connected community of practitioners, ambassadors, volunteers, PHA members, and those that help this happen through donations that fund our library of resources, vital projects such as mental well-being, and the magnificent website constantly improved upon by our wonderful Max. Without you all, we would not be on our way to achieving our mission to enable 10 million people in the UK to take control of their health. Let me just move forward. So tonight we will hear from some inspirational speakers who have collaborated to create the pillars of our community. First of all, we have practitioners, including PHA ambassadors Lisa Steele and Maureen Fearon, and a special introduction to A&E consultant Dr. Atul Bansal, who has connected the dots in identifying the missing piece in allopathic medicine today, and understanding that true health comes from mind, body, and spirit. Secondly, the second pillar is our partners. Dr. Tina Piers joins us tonight to talk about the importance of protecting our health and bodily autonomy, with an update on partners, My Medical Choice and Zero Spike. We also welcome for the first time Stephen Robinson, who will share his wellbeing project, Stay Well. This aims to increase our self-awareness to the level of identifying what activities, hobbies, people, therapies, and experiences make us feel good, and acknowledging that we need positive emotion, engagement, relationships, meaning, achievement, and vitality in our lives. The third pillar is community. PHA believes that community is at the heart of health and well-being. Together, we can provide support, peer-to-peer learning, and be of service to those in need in our locality. With an update on our community action initiative, Connect the Dots, and inspiration from community champion Della Newman, Cassie Langford from the National Residents Association, and the wonderful Philly J. Lay, we hope to inspire action and eradicate isolation, which has a profound effect on our health and well-being. We also have some exciting news from SAS about the People's Community Network, an online forum for connecting with like-minded people, which will be entering into its beta testing phase very soon. PHA believes in offering real-world support, and we are delighted tonight to share information about a project we have been working on for 3 years, one which offers support to vulnerable loved ones, those people often neglected in today's society. Let me just stop sharing at this point. So, before we get started, a little bit of housekeeping. First of all, we are recording for those who can't make it tonight. So if you don't want to be on the recording, please switch your camera off. Also, please make sure you're muted unless you've been invited to speak, and make the most of the chat. The chat's really fun. You can introduce yourselves, ask questions, which we will try and address at the end if we've got any time left. And also use the reactions at the bottom. If you look at the bottom of your screen, you'll see a react and a heart button. If you go in there, it's really good fun to just show us how you're feeling, you know, let's celebrate 4 years of PHA. Happy birthday. So, with no further ado, I'd like to introduce our international ambassador, Sarah Chave, founder of the New Earth podcast, who has a few words to help us navigate these tumultuous times, a time of great awakening, and her thoughts on what is to come as we build the New Earth together. Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you so much, Lisa. So wonderful to connect with you all here this evening. And I'm joining you from Portugal here. And I've had a really interesting day because about 24 hours ago, my internet went down. So I quickly reorganized all my meetings. But of course, this was one that I couldn't reorganize. So it was slightly discombobulating. It came back about an hour before we were due to come on. And these are the times that we're living in where outer events can be a little bit unsettling and unexpected. We recently in Portugal had really severe storms that affected our community, damage to property and power and internet going down. And it was really community coming together that got us through. We were finding out what everybody needed and really supporting each other to navigate these times. They are times when we're perhaps being challenged and under pressure. And what's actually happening is that things are coming to the surface to be seen and to be healed. So what's so beautiful is when we have opportunities like this to come together with our PHA family of like-minded people sharing a similar vision to really support this creating of the grassroots of the new earth. So thank you so much for joining us all this evening. And I'm certainly really excited to hear what the PHA is updating us on. And what I wanted to talk about is how at the moment we are standing in between these two worlds. We have the old world that's dissolving, that's fear-based, and we have this beautiful new earth that is the sovereign self that's refusing to step into fear and standing strong no matter what's going on when the external world seems to be kind of falling apart. And the astrology is very strong and very fast moving. And sometimes that can make us feel a little bit disorientated, but we just need to keep coming back to ourselves, coming back to our center, connecting in opportunities, in meetings like this, so that we can really ground into what we're visioning in, ground into what we want to, who we want to become, because it's not only external what's shifting, we're becoming new versions of ourselves. We had so much conditioning that was part of that old world. So it's how do we kind of reinvent ourselves as well? Who do we wish to be in this new earth? So what starts to happen as each and every one of us starts to choose love, choose compassion, choose truth, it has a ripple effect in the collective. And what begins is this spiritual awakening that we're all a big part of at this time. And it enables these rippling effects that we will really start to see in our outer world, but it starts within. So it's kind of non-negotiable, this inner work at this time, this coming back to ourselves and really, really finding that center again, no matter what's going on. So it enables the new earth to arrive through us, because it's not just going to kind of be presented, we're creating it. And the PHA is absolutely fabulous at that, because it's a grassroots movement with a new vision, and it's really enabling this new way of being to come in. So thank you so much for joining us all this evening, and let's just keep bringing in that new earth and keep visioning what we want to see in the world. Don't watch all the demolition. I mean, it's good to see a little bit of it, but as soon as we find ourselves getting emotionally kind of pulled down by it, it's time to find what it is that we want to be bringing in. So thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Sarah. Absolutely that. We have to stay focused on moving forward, don't we? And building the new, whilst being aware of what's happening. But thank you so much. I'm so happy that your Wi-Fi was restored. We've all benefited from that. So thank you very much. Now, moving on to the pillars. Our first pillar being practitioners. So I'm delighted to welcome Lisa Steele. And she's going to talk to us about the future of healthcare.
Good evening, everybody. Lovely to see some familiar faces, and happy birthday to us all. Nice to have it on St. George's Day. So, given 5 minutes to talk about the future of healthcare is quite an interesting challenge. So, I'm going to pick up from where Sarah left off and try and pass the baton along. And what I would say is that in order to understand the future of where we are heading in terms of our own self-regulation and our own strength in understanding how powerful we are, we need to go through periods of time that are uncomfortable. And I believe that is what Sarah is saying, and it's what's going on. So we wouldn't be able to increase our frequency if we were not able to see things that were of a lower frequency that we didn't like. And if you think about what our healthcare and what our well-being is about, you want to go back to, the origin of well-being and healthcare. And there was definitely a period in the 18th and 19th century when what had been known as traditional care of the community, the family, there was no suggestion of outside things coming in to fix us. It was all being fixed from the center of the tribe. But 18th and 19th century was that challenging period where we went from having an understanding and an intuition of how we looked after ourselves and our well, to this iatrogenic activity that was imposed upon us as people tried to make sense of who we are and what we are. And this linear version of medicine was put upon us. But at the same time that was coming in, which is what people know as germ theory, there were these amazing philosophers and incredibly arty, creative healers who were talking about frequency. If we go back to Duchenne, if we go back to galvanism, these were all early stages of what we are now seeing down the line of methods to restore ourselves, which came from a natural route. And I believe that we had to go through that 100 years, couple of 100 years, to be able to see what was right and what was wrong and to feel into it. And I think what we're seeing in this transformational period is we're seeing that very, very clearly. The things that don't feel right are generally not right. And the things that feel natural are generally right. And that kind of inner understanding of how powerful we are and how able we are to restore our health is the dominant message for us as co-creators of this community to be able to take forward and hold other people's hands for them to understand that it is different and it can be different and it can be directed by them. And I'll take you back to people like Rudolf Steiner, who was a visionary, a total visionary, and he focused on electricity and he focused on magnetism, the field, the terrain. But what he brought into that collection was our anthropology, I can never say that word, but our understanding of our spirit, how that involves and how it interconnects with our electrical bodies. And without that, we cannot function. So Steiner was a really big feature in our future of our healthcare. And many people operate with his understanding. And I think what we can see already, what is happening is people are moving away from the linear cut and paste story or the churn of the biological science without the psyche. And they're moving to a greater understanding that the frequency of their physiology and the frequency of their brain and the frequency of their emotional cells dictate, or that's probably not a great word to use, but they actually facilitate the healing of that individual. And the most exciting thing about that, it gives great hope, because people who are stuck in a syndrome that tells them that they have a condition that is irreversible, and tacked onto it is your genetic blueprint, which cannot be changed, is incredibly damaging to the psyche. And so if we continue on our paths of connection together, talking to each other, communicating information that has been learnt from a holistic and intuitive path, the only way is up, because the only way to see is the expansion of what that concept can do for each and every one of us. And so the future of healthcare, again, those words are pretty linear, healthcare. It's way above that. It's about connecting to your soul. It's opening your heart. It's understanding that how you see and perceive things needs to never have a lid on it. And it's working out, this is our life journey while we're in this physical space, working out how we serve others, how we connect with others, how we enable them to genuinely understand that they have enormous power to do anything. And this is a sidetrack, but I was listening to Edward Rutherford's London, if anyone's read that novel. And there's a little scene in there where there's a 6 or 7-year-old girl standing by the stream, and she hears a wolf behind her. And she remembers how her dad behaved when he got fearful. So she made herself, whatever, 6 foot tall in her head, and she turned around and she faced that wolf, and she growled so much that the wolf ran away. It did not eat her. And that whole concept is what we all have within us. You have to believe that you can heal yourself and that you have enormous powers that we just don't use. And if you do that from the collective, so in her case, what was it? How would I behave in a family? And you bring it through, not only will you be the center of your own well-being, but you will be the educator for the family, your own family and families around you. So I'm going to shut up then, because I've got lots of things I could say, but I know we're on a tight schedule. So thank you very much for listening. Appreciate it. Happy birthday.
Lisa, there was so many love hearts coming your way then. And now we've got applause, etc. It was wonderful. Thank you. And we will be doing a update with you very soon. I think next week we might try and get some time to do that, because Lisa has so many words of wisdom. Which we all do, because we're all incredibly powerful and knowledgeable, and we just need to believe in ourselves and do it together. So thank you very much. Moving on to, I think there's going to be some good conversations, Lisa, between you and our next speaker, Dr. Atul. Who has an incredible story, which again we haven't got time for tonight, but I hope that we'll be able to have an interview and talk about that in due course. But Dr. Atul is an A&E consultant, and he is going to talk about the true health impact of isolation.
Oh, I think Lisa might have frozen.
Yes, Dr. Atul, if you want to talk about it.
Thanks a lot for having me. Thank you. It's an incredible opportunity to meet you all, and especially on the fourth birthday, and with the incredible team of the healthcare professionals who are doing great work in the community and across the health spectrum. Theme is connection, and I'll stick within 5 minutes. And considering the health in terms of, we did a study project in a hospital as well, that we finally asked the people, what do we mean by health? And we found we were quite astounded that even the healthcare professionals doesn't actually understand what health is, in terms of, because we are not taught what health is. And I just want to, and we come up with some theory. We say health is a synapse and synergy of mind, body, and soul, or we could call it a philosophy, physiology, and psychology. And what we see in emergency department and across the world, the most common theme we see all the time, especially even in the community, family, friends, and stuff, the common theme is people going back and forth between hospital and a GP, not able to get the answer. And that's exactly what we found in our hospital study as well, that lots of patients come to the hospital, we can't give them the answer. So our hypothesis was there clearly something grossly wrong, that we are missing something, that with big chunk of patients, when we can't find an answer. So either we missing some big thing, or are we totally picking up the wrong cohort of patients. And we found the biggest chunk which is missing is the emotional health. The healthcare across is divided into physical and mental health, but there's nothing much work on the emotional health. And this is what and comes back to the connection. And as a humanity, we came so far as part of our evolutionary journey. And the reason we came this far is because we could connect with each other. We developed this profound connection where we could die for each other, which helped us to share our ideas, build up a teamwork. And that happened fundamentally via connection. So this connection is incredibly important. And we see this connections isn't about just being loneliness or being bored, but having a connection is a big predictor or negative predictor. A good connection is a predictor of against a dementia. It helps the immunity. It helps us save from heart attack, stroke, diabetes as well. So the connection bit is grossly missing. And even in the words of Plato, a lot of people don't know that the doctor comes from Latin word which means to teach. The doctor has got nothing to do with the treating people. And so the medicine side of things is we just need to future of healthcare to become a bit of proactive healthcare, because currently healthcare is a bit of reactive healthcare. And also we as a society should reclaim the health as our own responsibility. We should not outsource the responsibility of health to the doctors, in fact, who are trained to look after disease, not to look after health. And this is where I'm fortunate to interact with you all and to work with you all. And I think I'm sticking within 5 minutes. So I can go on and on, but lovely to meet you all and learn from you all. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. We're delighted to have you as part of the PHA family now, and look forward to working with you and learning with you. We're all learning, aren't we? And I think we can learn from each other, definitely. Next on, we've got the lovely Maureen Fearon, who has recently been generous enough to accept the role as PHA Mental Wellbeing Ambassador. So welcome, Maureen. It's lovely to have you here.
Oh, thank you so much. It's an absolute privilege. And I love PHA and all that you do. And your hearts are just so big. And as already been kind of like mentioned, the potential within us is amazing, and it is still like a hidden secret. I started doing what I do now back in 2005 2004, but in 2005 when I saw what could be done, and this was in the world of neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, and I'm a skeptic, so I go to things going, right, go on then, see if it works. Go on then, impress me. That was a fluke. Do it again. Do it again. And there was one little exercise that just blew my mind because I was a complete skeptic. I was brought up with Irish parents as a Catholic, so we do guilt brilliantly. And so this exercise that only took about 10 minutes stopped me doing guilt. I've not done guilt since 2005. And I couldn't even bring it back. I couldn't even think about the things. And it's like, wow. And it was just so powerful. And I got so excited and so gung ho that I wanted everyone in the world to know about it so that they've got a choice to make those positive differences. So mental health and the solutions are still not known enough at all. That I do talks all over the place, and it's like, how many people have heard of? And it's like they've not heard of it. And there is an absolute, true physical relationship to our mental health. It can have a knock-on effect when we work with the physical health. It can make us feel better when we work with our emotional health. There's so much that can be done, and we are an amazing system. We're a programmable system. So if we start with the plan of how do we want to live our lives? So think about yourself. How do you want to live every day of your life? You guys are probably all forward thinking and wise and have come across that. So many people have never even thought of that. And it's like, what do you mean? It's like, what do you want to do? What do you want to be? So we want to start with the goal of how we want to be, no matter what we're going through, no matter the challenges. We want the goal so that we can focus and aim for something. And mental health issues are growing increasingly. About 15, it might have been more, 15 years ago, I came across a statistic that said 1 in 12 teenagers were self-harming. And I thought, rubbish. I'm a skeptic. I thought, that's a load of rubbish. So I went and asked this very clever teenager and said, right, okay, what do you reckon to this very clever boy? And he went, yeah, I can believe that. I went, how? How come? He said, because of what I've seen. I said, what have you seen? And that was 15 years ago. So I did a quick search on the old Tinterweb, and it now says around 10% of young people report self-harm. So when I was at school, there was 30 plus girls in the class. So that's 3 girls in our class that were self-harming. Outrageous. There was 1 in the whole school of our age, which was 1 in 120 people at that time. And it says that the rates are higher in teenage girls and young women. 1 in 3 reporting self-harm or related thoughts. So those are the ones that are reporting it. So who isn't? But that's 1 in 3. So that's 10 girls in my class that would be self-harming. It's crazy. And 1 in 6 adolescents will self-harm at some point in their life. Well, we've got to change that because it is changeable, and it's changeable through educating. And I come across so many parents who need help themselves, and they genuinely want quick fix helps. They don't want to go and learn about it, and they don't want to talk about the world. They want to feel better fast. But for their children, they want resources because it's breaking their hearts seeing them with anxiety, panic attacks, can't sleep. They don't know who they are. They don't know what they are. And these are little children that should be out playing. And so the parents, we need to be helping the parents, educating the education system. I work as a therapist with so many teachers that have got, but they don't share what happens. And I've worked with lots of doctors as well. And I've never had a referral from a doctor. We've had instant, fantastic results, and they've never recommended to their peers because it has to be kept a closely guarded secret. So I'm looking forward to, and I'm so privileged and so thankful that you've invited me, trusted me to come in and share what works fast, and it can be gentle, totally respecting. And there are loads of modalities that help people that people have no idea of. So it's so exciting that the future, the next year or so, it's just amazing. And I'm just so grateful to be here. And I just love connecting, getting goose pimples now with you all. And happy birthday and well done for getting to 4 years, because it isn't an easy task to run a voluntary organisation. So well done, everybody. And
thank you, Maureen.
Yeah.
It's amazing that you're here, and I know that you've been having conversations with Kerry about a workshop coming up, and there's so much stuff that we've got planned that we can do together. You're right. I mean, really, mental health is the tsunami, isn't it? That we need to be here. We need to have the safety nets in place to catch people. So I'm going to stop talking because I keep losing my signal. I'm going to hand over to Kerry. She's just going to go through a couple of calls to action from the practitioner pillar.
Hi, everybody. Happy birthday to PHA. Wow, 4 years. Where's that gone? It's been absolutely amazing. Lovely to see familiar faces on here and some new people too. Oh, thank you for spotlighting me. And welcome back, Maureen. I can't wait to introduce everybody to what we've got planned for the future. We're planning on an hour a week of a feel-good fix. So we'll be sharing that with you very shortly. For those who don't know about our practitioners directory, where have you been? Our amazing directory is a people-powered network of like-minded practitioners rooted in choice, integrity, and connection. Every listing represents a practitioner committed to informed choice, compassionate care, and community well-being, helping people find support they truly align with their values. So if you haven't already joined, there's a link in the chat, which I'll put back in. So just have a click on there, give us some information about yourself, and then you might be one of the practitioners we spotlight each month in our newsletter and on our website, I think, and through our social media. We're also looking continuously for content for our website and our newsletter. So if you'd like to share what you've been doing and connections, please get in touch. Again, we'll have a link in the chat. It will be the hello at link, which I'll put in there again. And that's pretty much it for the practitioners directory, but I will be talking to you a little bit more later on about how else you can get in touch and help us. There's Lisa mute.
Can you hear
Is
me?
she frozen? I can't. Oh, there you are. Sorry, I couldn't see you.
Hi. Yes. Sorry, I am typically having Wi-Fi problems, so hopefully you can hear me. Moving on to our second pillar. Thank you, Kerry, for that. We are delighted to hear from Dr. Tina Pears, and she's going to talk together with our lovely Geo about my medical choice and then move on to Zero Spike. So welcome, Geo and Dr. Tina Pears.
Hello. Tina, you here? Can't see you. Is Tina there? Are you on mute? Can't see you. Okay.
It's a good job you're here, Geo.
Yeah. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to our 4th birthday. The PHA basically partnered with My Medical Choice because at the core of what we do is informed choice. So it was a natural fit. There's moments when people don't think about, and one of them is what happens if we go to hospital in an emergency and you can't speak. Maybe passed out or whatever it may be. There may be a reason why you can't speak. And in that moment, decisions get made very quickly. Tests, treatments, procedures, and you're not always in charge of what happens. And that's where My Medical Choice steps in and tries to close that gap. It lets you make informed decisions in advance and clearly. So if you don't want certain things like mRNA-based tests or interventions, or you prefer alternatives to blood transfusions, this system makes sure that those choices are properly documented. As a quick example, in an emergency, paramedics arrive, check pulse points, and see if you have any ID in case there is something important they should show. And they will find and scan a card, which I think I've got one here. Something like this. There's a QR code on it as well. The moment they scan it, within seconds, your advanced decision notice appears on their tablet. And right in front of them, they can see what you're willing to have, what you can have, and how quickly to process what's going on. This gives clear, immediate, savable time. It's basically known as the golden hour. I'm sure Atul will correct me if I'm wrong on that. And this basically, we've just shaved as much time as possible off, so we've sped up the process. Your ICE contacts are also automatically notified the moment the paramedics scan your card, so you're not left on your own. I mean, we've all seen reports on how some hospitals have automatically placed do not resuscitate orders on loved ones, especially vulnerable people. I mean, within this system, they've specifically placed the option for no, do not resuscitate decisions without you or your loved one's consent, or informing them at least. So that can't be done. They're trying to freeze that and stop that. Basically, this is about your choice, your bodily autonomy, speed of treatment, and peace of mind. And it's something that PHA are 100% happy to get behind. Now, at this point, I was going to introduce Tina Piers, but I'm not sure she's around, so I don't know. I can't see her.
I don't think she's here, but I'm sure we'll have a recorded update from Tina in due course and share that. But thank you, Gio. That's fantastic.
We've got a Tina that's just come, but there's no surname, so we don't know if that's Tina Piers.
Don't know.
So if Tina can just let us know whether you're Tina or Tina.
Can I just mention the medical error?
Oh, yes.
Hear me?
Yeah. Oh, hello, Nicola. Yes.
Hi. I was just listening to see if you mentioned that. Another major problem with if you're in an emergency situation is medical error. If paramedics or even A&E don't have access to your medical history, they have to just guess basically what to do with you. And if you're on some quite serious medications or have previous operations, things like that, or have allergies to anything, then they're just winging it basically. And then it could actually save your life by them knowing what you're taking, what your history is. And that is instant. As soon as they log in, the first thing they see is your medical history. Then they move on to your ADN and things that you want to reject. And also the card that Gio showed you. I think we can all agree that probably all of us here do not want a blood transfusion. That's probably the number one thing that our members do not want for obvious reasons. And the card has the no blood symbol on. So straight away, as soon as they see that, I've got a tag as well. I think Lisa's got one. I'm not sure if Lisa's has the no blood sign on it, but straight away they can see that. So anything that they're planning on giving you plasma, or because some paramedics can actually administer blood, plasma, blood products, it stops them doing that. So it's a multifaceted sort of system that, helps with medical error, stops them giving you things that you don't want, lets your ICE contacts know so they can get to the hospital ASAP and watch over you. Because I think we can all agree that hospitals not the safest place these days. So it's just, it's everything that we can possibly think of wrapped in one to protect you and make sure that you get the treatment that's best for you and what you want as well, or rather don't want. So that was that. Sorry for the interjection.
No, thank you, Nicola. Yeah, amazing. It's great to have you here. Nicola is the founder of My Medical Choice. So I just want to say thank you, Nicola. I've been probably one of your first members, and very passionate about My Medical Choice. I just wish and hope that we get this out to people because it is so needed. It really is. So I'm going to move on. We'll do an update, Gio, in a newsletter soon about Zero Spike, and hopefully have a recorded conversation with Tina about Zero Spike and my medical choice. But I'd love now to move on to Stephen Robinson, who's here from Stay Well, and he's doing some great things. I'm not going to start talking about it because I'm on his steering committee, so I could do. I'm going to hand over to Stephen and let him talk about his amazing project.
Hello, everybody. Happy birthday, PHA. I'm glad to be here. It's a great privilege. Yes, where I start is this is 6 years in the journey. The mission is to teach 1 million people how to stay well, which is a big mission. And we do we've got working on 2 cities at the moment, which is up the northwest of England, Preston and Manchester, moving on to Liverpool, and then hopefully nationwide. So that's to make them cities stay well cities. So we've got a lot of KPIs on how we do that. But where we've got to this point and stay well, it's taken a fair bit of journey, working with a lot of professionals, being therapists, practitioners, psychotherapists, coaches, etc., to understand how we can educate the masses on preventative health. And it's a difficult task, as we all know. And there's a lot of noise. I mean, it's good noise, but as for them individuals that are new to preventative health and change that mindset, it's understanding the benefits. And there's so much out there now, which is great, but it's how we get people to act and how to get to engage with these services. After a lot of focus groups over about the last 18 months, we launched start of last year, February 25, Stay Well initiative. And it was based on one simple question. And it is asking people, how do they stay well? How do you stay well? And what we found by doing that as focus groups and surveys is people find it very difficult to answer the question. It's a simple question, but we don't know the answer. So that really started to really say, well, this is the starting point where the education has to begin. So from that, we adopted a model called PERMA, which is a positive psychology model. And we've stuck V on the end of it, so PERMA plus V for vitality, because we think that's a major part of people's wellness. And we created a mapping process. And the beauty of doing this with individuals is what we're trying to do is get their focusing in what makes them feel good, which then obviously starts to change their mindset. Rather than looking at scarcity, fear and uncertainty of all these negative emotions, can we shift them to focusing on what makes them feel good? The problem is most people don't know what makes them feel good. And we mentioned before about the power of emotional intelligence and being educated around that. And it does start from within, but trust in that. And we have to put it in practice. So we don't tell people what to do. We get them to map what they're doing already. So that could be a routine, it could be an hobby, it could be an interest, it could be a sport. But what they have to do is map that, the emotions that they get from that, or what they get from it, straight away. So it's about, so if you go for a run and you've gone for 20 minutes, and you're in recovery, that is the time to do it, to sit down, reflect, but understand them strong emotions and get them down on paper. We all know this is quite powerful, but it's to make it simple. In 3 weeks, what we found by doing this process is people are identifying, as Lisa said before, is what is jumping off the paper, is what they get out of doing things. The other thing is understanding what doesn't serve them anymore, what doesn't make them feel good. So people going to the gym that they've done for years, or going for a run, or even doing an experience or an hobby that doesn't serve them anymore. So what we're trying to find is that change, that catalyst of change, which gives them direction. And they try new things. So after the 3 weeks, we use the PERMA model, which is 6 areas, 24 sub areas, to help a map, because we don't know what we don't know. So basically mapping that, it gives us direction. And what we understand is confirmation of that the top 5 things that we get from doing things we're doing on a regular basis, that we like doing, it gives us a positive emotion. It makes us feel good. And by doing that, like we've mentioned some of the speakers before, we're raising our frequency. A lot of people need to be educated about this. The masses have to be educated about this. We know this, but we've got to make it simple for them to follow the journey, to create action and give them a direction. Now, where we have all of the synergies here is that social connection is massive. Social connection, we're very tribal by nature. So we want to find our tribe. And we don't know where that tribe is. People are lost. You know, there's a lot of things gone on in the last decades of uncertainty. Trust have gone out of the window. Churches are obviously declining. We don't trust politicians. We don't trust the banks, the establishments anymore. All that's gone out decades ago, as we know. But the layman doesn't know where to turn. And I think this is where, together with collaboration with Connect the Dots, PHA, Stay Well, we can start to connect them and give people direction to find their tribe, but what makes them feel good. So when we acknowledge that what makes us feel good, and we've mapped it, we know exactly what gives us it. Does that make sense? So when we're feeling low, when we're struggling with the mental health, and we're all going to do that in a lifetime, we all have to face adversity. But it's where do we go straight away? Where do we know what serves us? And this is the whole point of staying well. So we're moving quite at a rapid pace. We're so pleased to have Lisa as part of the steering group as well. We've got 2 steering groups in the Northwest. We do have Stay Well ambassadors. We've trained over 120 Stay Well ambassadors now, and we only just started summer last year. So we're moving really fast. The biggest breakthroughs that we have is with corporates as well, that have really took this on board, which has always been a closed door when we're talking about holistic preventative health. Most of the corporates is reactive to this, so it's more of having an employee assisted program, but it's the same. It's the same old thing as we've talked about before that Lisa mentioned. We're reactive. Something happens, we feel sick, we react. We've got to get people to change their mindset. And also it has a positive effect on absenteeism and things like that, sick days, all that kind of thing. So in a nutshell, we're on that mission. We're doing great things. It'd be great to share with others along this journey, and I'm so pleased to be here to just share what we do at Stay Well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Stephen. Brilliant. I mean, I know how brilliant your initiative is. That's why I've invited you here today. But Emma's just put in the chat, what a brilliant initiative. And it is. And it's so simple. That's the thing, isn't it? It's the simplest things are often the most effective things. So if anyone would like to know more from Stephen, we will share contact details after this meeting. And by all means, get in touch with him and see how you can bring Stay Well to your community. So we're going to, on that note, we are going to move on to community, and Mags is about to roll a video.
Okay. And I'm with the wonderful Richard Vobes. Richard, can you tell us, what does community mean to you?
Oh, golly, how long have you got? I suppose community means to me, it's going back, really. I always think places like this in Forest Row, if you went back 150 years, everyone would be pulling together. There would be farms all around the place, and harvest time would be a typical example of when people would come out, because food gathering was the most important thing, and being part of that community, not necessarily just growing the food, but doing all the other things that come with it, such as your blacksmith and your even the church. You would be all part of it. People were part of what makes life worth living. And I think although we've lost that era, it is time to take the best from that era back. And I think community, when people are offering all their different services and skills and abilities, you end up with a very cohesive, friendly, hopefully, society of people who get on, especially in making decisions for themselves, rather than having to rely on authority or being disgruntled about the decisions that are being pushed down from the top. So grassroots up, I think, is what community is all about.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
And thank you to Shirley, our community ambassador, for going along and supporting that event on Sunday. And I think he summed up PHA very well, didn't he? In everything he said. So we're on the right track. I'd just like to give you a quick update now before, and hopefully I don't lose my signal again, on Connect the Dots and where we're at there with our community action campaign. So we launched our Connect the Dots in August last year at Philly's amazing Wellness Way Festival, which was just the best time. We had an amazing time. Can't wait for the next one next year. And the aim of Connect the Dots is to have a dot representing community groups on every village, town and city on a map of the British Isles. And by sharing these groups on our community directory, people can find a local support network. And that is underpinned by our practitioner directory, which together help create healthy, connected communities. So Connect the Dots was created to inspire people to come together in support and service of those in their community. And we even created a toolkit full of ideas of how to get started, lots of resources, downloadable posters and flyers, etc. And we also created a commitment card whereby people can actually pledge to make a difference in their community, no matter how big or small. Again, think ripple effect. It all has an impact. So all of these tools you can have a look at on our website and download whatever you need. And shortly we'll be hearing from Della Newman. I really hope she's here, because she has taken a commitment card pledge that she did at the Wellness Way Festival, and she's now taken action to make her pledge a reality. So I hope you're here, Della. I'm going to ask you to speak very soon. I just wanted to give you a little bit more of what we've been up to on the community front. So in November, we announced the UK's first ever National Community Week, because there wasn't one. So PHA said, OK, well, we need one. So we're going to claim that and we're going to do it. So the first one was in November. And it was a really great week of just raising awareness, collaborating, and people putting on local events. This year, National Community Week is the 21st to the 28th of June. And so we urge you to get involved. With just 2 months to go, it's time to start planning events, connecting locally, and just inspiring people, your neighbours, etc., to get involved. And don't forget our Truth Toolkit, because that can really help. So anything from a simple coffee morning to a village hall full of practitioners offering taster sessions, it's all about connection and recreating those third places where people have a real sense of belonging. And finally, from me, because you've heard enough from me, a few weeks ago we launched the People's Community Network, and it's not another project or platform. It is us, the people, practitioners, partners who are building healthy, connected communities. It's the heart of the movement, a collective of individuals and groups working side by side to educate, empower, and serve each other in the spirit of collaboration and mutual support. So the network provides the identity and framework that ties all our initiatives together. It reminds us that we're not working in isolation. We are part of a living network that is reshaping how communities care for themselves. So shortly we'll hear from Saz, and she's going to talk about a secure online forum to facilitate this growing network and allow members to connect with like-minded people and collaborate across projects, hubs, initiatives, learn and teach, be of service, and also access peer-to-peer support. The network's going to meet monthly. We'll share details soon, but the forum will allow us to still have 24/7 connection and support. So, enough of me. Let's hear from the wonderful people that are actually at the coalface. Della, are you in the audience? Please say you are. If you are, please unmute yourself and tell us about your amazing project. Might be another interview coming up.
I don't think she's there.
And no, I don't think she is, which is a shame. She's doing some wonderful stuff in Wales. She's bought land. She's got great plans for it. They're really building a team of people, like-minded people that want to work the land and come together and live together. And yeah, it's really exciting to think that this was sparked from. I'm sure it was in the plans before, but it's really, the action has come out of meeting like-minded people. So now I'm delighted to introduce Cassie. Cassie, I know you're there because I was looking at the participants before. Please unmute yourself. Cassie is the founder of the National Residents Association, and Cassie's going to talk about the issues that communities are facing at the moment, but more importantly, the solutions.
Well, thank you very much, Lisa, for inviting me this evening. It's a real pleasure. It's a real pleasure to come on. And happy birthday, PHA. So yes, it's actually, funnily enough, it's nearly the National Residents Association 4th birthday, which I've just discovered whilst we were on the phone. I thought, when was it? And it's actually going to be the 14th of May. So we've been going for a little while as well now. So just amazing work that we've been hearing about this evening, and I'd like to add a little bit to that. Number one, I believe that, because a lot of people over the course of this time have felt very disempowered. So some of us have had to be empowering of ourselves. Now, I know we've heard from different speakers about healing, and I believe that we are all on a healing journey, and that's why essentially coming together is really, really fundamental during this time. When we look at the community, and I can't remember who was discussing it earlier, about people in our communities don't know what to do. And obviously Richard Vobes summarised it very nicely, that it is about community. So recently, I want to tell everybody to give people, there is positivity. There's light in the dark, essentially. And we in Glastonbury, they started a new group, and Glastonbury is a bit of an alternative community anyway. However, these particular group of people have been fighting their council for about 6 years now, and they've had no success at all. So they decided to start something called the People of Glastonbury. And they said, what do we do, Cassie? So we had a discussion about what I think that they could do. They formed themselves as a group, and I said, I think we need to set up a public meeting so that we can bring our community back together. And I said, you need to focus on the topic, the problem in your local area. So, we can galvanize people essentially. So they did that. They went out in the streets. They were talking to shops. They were, every single day for about 3 weeks, they were going out. And on the day of the event, we had no idea. We absolutely had no idea what would be if it was going to be positive or not. And I was driving over there thinking to myself, I really don't know what the outcome of this is going to be. It was very touch and go because we were engaging with the general public. To my absolute amazement, I got there and there probably was about 150 residents, everyone. So it was huge, it was just mind blowing. In fact, it's been so successful now that they've now had their second public meeting, which had about the same level of attendance as well. And the best part of after their first meeting, they went to their council meeting. And when the council were just about to decide whether they wanted to turn the local area into a World Heritage Site, and the people said no, everyone. So presence equals power. And that is when you start to make the change in your local area. And essentially, I feel that's what we need everywhere, especially with all of the barrage of stuff that's going on all over the country. With the government, they're bringing in national emergency planning meetings here, there and everywhere. So now we're just about to start a few more public meetings in different locations. I'm actually travelling up to Lincoln. So if anybody's is in Lincoln area, I'm going up there early next week. So if anybody wants to join us, please do drop me a line and you can, I'll send you the details. We're not making it a big public thing or anything. it's more for the general public. But the second meeting of Glastonbury, I want to mention this before before I move on. But really, everyone, it was so amazing that now they are building in these different groups from a food security perspective, from your health perspective, from all these different topics. And what is happening is I reckon that they are going to be able to start taking back their towns slowly but surely. So on that, empowerment is a key. Empowering yourself is one of the biggest things that we need people to do right now. But we've got some amazing tools. We break things down, make it very, very simple for people to be able to take that direct action very simplistically. And we have loads of resources to help people. So follow our YouTube channel, join our Telegram channel, whatever you wish to do. On another note as well, because I feel that sometimes people are lacking education about certain topics with maybe smart technology, the dangers associated with all of these kind of things, I'm hosting a variety of different calls every now and again so that people can come and join and hear from speakers that have, experts essentially. So yeah, that's it from me really. But thank you very much for inviting me, Lisa.
Well, Cassie, I love you to bits, and I think you're so inspiring, absolute trooper. And it's similar to connect the dots, isn't it? We're hoping to just provide people with the resources to do this and not feel like they're doing it alone. So we're always here in support of you in the National Residents Association. You have got some amazing calls about really important topics soon, and we're behind you all the way, and we'll be sharing those with our audience as well. So thank you. Thanks for coming tonight and talking about what has become such a great win in Glastonbury. Absolutely amazing. So inspiring.
Thank you.
Right, we're going to move on to community, and no, we've done community. We're moving on to real world support, and Mags has an amazing little clip to share.
The current care system is broken. Decades of cuts have resulted in local authorities spending less on social care for older and vulnerable people. Businesses have stepped in to fill the void, with many care homes and home care providers being run by private companies. When profit comes into the equation, we have a compromised situation. As long as we keep looking to business or government to care for our vulnerable, we are lost. We believe there's a better way.
We lost Lise.
Yeah. Who's playing the video?
Mags was. Lisa's back. Are you back, Lise?
She's had enough.
I don't know if she's back. Well, that was just a snippet of a new video that the PHA are bringing out. They've got it, lined it up, and we've just given like a very short snippet there of it just to show people what's going on. But it's a little bit longer. It's about 11 minutes long when you see the whole thing and what's in line. So that's still to come. Are you back, Lise?
I am. Thank you, Gio. Yeah, can you hear me? So real world support is what PHA offers, but it just can't be down to a small few people. We really need help. The Care in the Community project is work in progress, but we feel it's something that affects us all eventually. So whether as an individual or a family member facing really difficult decisions on behalf of a family member. So what we're trying to do with this project is really give support to families during care decisions and give guidance on what to look for in care homes, for example, steps, guidance, key contacts. And already on the website, which is ready to download on the website, you'll be able to see a free resource to help as many people as possible, to help families, people caring for vulnerable loved ones. So it has been 3 years in the making this. We're finally releasing this video, and it'll be on the full video will be on the website soon. But we just felt the time was now. And I know Leandra Ashton is on a train. She can't actually speak tonight, but Leandra is the founder of the People's Care Watchdog. You may remember her. There she is with her beautiful face on a train. Leandra has been absolutely instrumental in putting together with me the video that we started 3 years ago, but also the care packs. And we had a chat yesterday, and she's been doing some wonderful stuff with the COVID inquiry, etc. Just amazing stuff in the last couple of years. And we're ready. We're ready to start talking about this stuff and really going for it, because this affects everybody. So if this project resonates with you, you have some spare time, it's something that you'd like to get involved in, please do reach out. You can drop us a message in the chat, or if you'd like to send us a message, contact details we'll share at the end. Please do, because we're all in this together, aren't we? And we're all affected by this. So I think it's such an emotive subject. It's something that we can all help with. So yeah, please do. I'm just going to go back now to Philly, who has been doing some amazing stuff in communities, not least that amazing event last year, but also with your own health hub, haven't you, Philly?
I have indeed. First of all, hello, lovely people, and happy birthday. Massive congratulations to the People's Health Alliance. I remember standing in my ex-husband's kitchen 4 years ago today, and he was trying to get me out the house, and I'm going, I'm not moving because I'm posting at 5 o'clock for the People's Health Alliance. And he's going, go now. And I'm going, no, I'm posting. But I'm just so thrilled that all the work that you've done, and you guys are just amazing. Some of you might know me from the Wellness Way podcast, The Wellness Way with Philly J. Lane. Some of you might have been to my health hubs, and I was completely inspired to do those by the People's Health Alliance. Like I said, from day one, I've followed you guys and supported you guys. And I was just like, oh my God, I've got to do a health hub. So I've been lucky enough to do 4 health hubs over the last year at CNM, the College of Naturopathic Medicine. And for me, the absolute joy of doing these in-person events is the community. People travel from all over the country just to kind of say hello and give you a hug, and they want to try everything out and learn the powers that we have. And it is such an exciting occasion every time I do one, but nothing will ever be so exciting as the Wellness Way Festival last year. And I was absolutely thrilled when Lisa said that the People's Health Alliance would come along. Geo bought my medical choice, Stephen, stay well. We had connect the dots, and I remember that wonderful map that went up with no dots on it. And by the end of the festival, it was covered in dots. And it's amazing that, you know, people are at, you know, the Wales farm, and I'm sure it was in the making before. But what these events do is they inspire people and they motivate people, because sometimes it's a very lonely place out there. And, you know, you've all talked a lot tonight about community, but without community, we're absolutely nothing. This world, we're not put here to sit on our own. We're pack animals, and we need to find our tribe, and then we can vibe. And this is what the People's Health Alliance, Stay Well, My Medical Choice, all of you guys do such an amazing job at. And, you know, the thing that I've learned more than anything in the last 6 years, you know, I was just about to retire in 2020. I just trained as an EFT matrix re-imprint practitioner. And I thought, okay, I'm going to open a little retreat and virtually retire, but run retreats at the weekend for cancer patients. And then they locked us down. And I went, not on my watch, you don't. And so it was a very, very lonely place those first couple of years. And then when the launch of the People's Health Alliance came along, I just kind of thought, oh my Lord, I found my tribe. There are other people out there that feel the same as I feel. I haven't gone mad. And this is one of the problems, that when you stand up for something you believe in so passionately, that you do very often feel that you go mad. I think one of the greatest honors for me at the festival was a lady, Barbara, who flew in from California for the weekend. And she had been feeling very lost and lonely, and she was being put under huge pressure to have the injection. And all her friends and family had started disowning her and telling her she'd gone mad. And then she found me, and she wanted to fly in from California to just say thank you, because it was online, but I found a tribe. I found people that thought the same as I thought. And that is the wonderful thing about all of us here tonight, and all of those that of you that will watch this afterwards. We found each other. And we have these extraordinary powers that nobody tells us about. And, you know, I have an online community, but it's spelled community, TEA, because we have a herb of the month every week, because I'm passionate about herbal teas. And I had a Zoom with them tonight, because a lot of people are struggling with children at the moment. And, you know, the children have found it very hard. This is kind of slightly older children have found the last, 6 years very hard. They got shut down when it should have been, the school community and being with your tribe and doing, kind of going to secondary school. And now they're turning 16 and they're all a little bit lost. And I brought a wonderful practitioner on who I was lucky enough to train with, called Ralph Nguyen. And we talked very much about how we can work with each other in the field. And that's something that I do with clients in Matrix Reimprint, and Rafe does in Family Constellations. And we have found each other here. And now it is our role, I believe passionately with all of my heart, it is our role to go and reach other people. And we can do that. It's amazing if you can do that on the streets. Cassie, that's fantastic to hear. But you can also work on people in the field. And, we can work with people that are lonely in the field. And we can work with people that just have lost their way, or people that have different opinions to us. Because one day, and one day soon, I believe with all of my heart that this world is going to come together, and we're watching the old systems crumble. And, the dragon puts up a big fight before it dies. But we're here to do everything we can to build this new world. I'm having a little bit of a break at the moment because a festival, Fourth Health Hubs, a podcast every week, a newsletter, social media kind of wore me out last year. As Lisa knows, we put their festival on in 4.5 months from beginning to end, which was a little bit exhausting, really. But I'm going to be back later on this year. My community is going all the time because, you know, I want to be there for as many people that need me as possible. But the festival won't happen this year, but we're coming back next year. And so I hope to God that People's Health Alliance, my medical choice, and Stay Well will be standing, Connect the Dots will be standing by my side again under that lovely white tent where we had such fun last year. And we will bring this world together because, as I always say in a lot of my social media posts, not on my watch. We're here for each other. Just happy birthday, everybody. I think I've frozen now.
Have we lost Lisa again?
I think you lost me for a bit and now we've lost Lisa.
All the power of technology. Is it you, Saz, next?
I think Lisa's
I think I'm back. I think I'm back. It is. It's our Saz next. And it was a great segue from Philly into what Saz is going to talk about, which is the forum. So this is, so this is how we're going to stay connected all the time, you know, whether it's in person or if it can't be, at least we've got an online forum. So over to you, Saz.
Okay, thanks, Lisa, and thanks, Philly. So we've built something truly remarkable together, and today I'm excited to share how we're taking the next step forward in 2026. So this year we're introducing a refreshed mission statement that you heard Lisa say at the start, and it reflects where we are right now, today, and where we're headed. So our new mission statement is simple but powerful. It's to empower 10 million people to take back control of their health. If we're really going to create the shift, then we need to be reaching enough of the population to create a natural tipping point in the collective awareness. And that's around about 7 to 10%. That's based on like the UK population. And we do this by doing what we do, by building a web of connections where healers, practitioners, and the community can freely share, collaborate, educate, and empower each other towards optimal health and vitality. So it's not just a statement, it's a call to action for the future we're building together, and one that we want our children to experience. So to bring this mission to life, we'll be sharing a new manifesto. It's bold, it's unapologetic, and it's a rallying cry for everybody who believes in the life-changing power of a holistic approach to health. This manifesto is our new declaration of intent, a reminder of why we do what we do and the impact we're striving to make. It's not just words on paper, it's a call to action for all of us to step up, lean in, and lead the way for everyone in the UK and across the globe. But we know that a big mission and a manifesto alone aren't enough to help move all members into empowered action. That's why we've developed the PHA Playbook. It's a practical guide that outlines how we'll achieve our goals, and it's intended to be shared. It's got clear definitions of what PHA is, because it's still a new thing, what we're doing, and how to participate in creating the shift in healthcare that we all dearly want to see. So PHA's new playbook is about including everyone in turning the vision into action and ensuring that every step we take is purposeful and impactful. Next, we give time and consideration to every single person who writes into PHA's Community Success Desk. And what we've learned is that there's lots of superb things happening, like it's been discussed this evening, that could be better supported if we move together in a joined up way. So we're launching a new online community, a space where what we do can thrive. And it's not just another platform, it's the heartbeat of PHA, our online village for connection, learning and growth. We'll be delivering shared experiences, support in a space that enables meaningful relationships with people on the same path. The ultimate goal is to create strong connections that move together to offline in our local communities. So I'd just like us all to reflect back on what it was like when you felt like the world was crazy and you first found those people who got you. And consider what it's like today for those people who are still in a swirl of confusion and overwhelm and worry. I invite you to just place your hand on your heart and take a deep belly breath in and let it go with a feeling of ease, smiling on the inside, feeling the corners of your eyes and cheeks lift. And if you wish, you can close your eyes and experience their journey in finding us. Someone shares the manifesto with them. They're excited and relieved that other people have the same concerns as them, and they feel inspired to find out more. They come to our website and they find quality education shared freely, and they finally feel they can trust, and they feel like the new earth is happening already today, because it is. They feel hope and ease, and they join our free online community and instantly feel relief in the connection with others on the same path. And they're keen to pay it forward and repeat the cycle. And so we grow. So take another deep breath and let it out. And open your eyes if you did close them. This is what we're building. But we're not quite there yet. We need your help. So before we fully launch it, we need people to come, try it out, give us feedback so that we can make sure it's a truly supportive space that helps our community to thrive. So we're inviting everybody that's supported PHA by showing up tonight to join as founding members for our online community. When you join, you'll get a badge indicating that you're one of our founding members, and you'll be the first to receive this new manifesto and playbook. I think the link is, the link to join the list to do that is being shared in the chat. So please do consider popping your email in there so that you can join us. Now, I know the past few years have been challenging. Many of us have felt stretched, like super thin, like our project team. And it's easy to lose momentum, but let me remind you of something. The work we do matters. It changes lives. And in 2026, we're injecting new energy into this movement because the world needs what we are, now more than ever. So we're asking for your continued support. Let's embrace the 2026 roadmap with open hearts and a renewed determination. Give if you can, time, skills, donations, and join us in our online village. Let's show up for each other, for our communities, for our children, and for the vision that we share. 2026 is our year. Together, we can make it a year of transformation and growth. Thank you for your unwavering commitment. Let's make this happen. Sign up through the link that we're sharing.
Thank you, Sam.
As fast as we possibly can to make it happen.
Yeah. But as I said before, it can't be down to just the small few. We do need help, to reiterate your point, Saz. So thank you. So how can you get involved? before we do finish, and I know you've all been brilliant, we've still got, let me just see, 50 people here, which is amazing, because we've kept you here for 90 minutes already. So thank you for that. But before we finish, we really do want to extend a genuine thank you to everyone who's supported us over the past 4 years.
Lisa's a rap artist and you didn't know.
I've lost her again. Are you back, Lise? Oh. No, she's trying to get back.
I know she wanted to give a big shout out to all our ambassadors, because I think there's a few here on the call. So hello, if you're there, if you can see us.
Yes. So Carol, was Carol on here as well before?
I'm sure Carol Boyce was there earlier.
I did, I saw her. Hello, Carol.
And Gar.
Hello,
somewhere.
Gareth.
Hi, Gar. Are you back, Lisa?
And she's trying. Saz, that was very much over the past 4 years, but we really couldn't have done it without anyone here, without all the help from all the different people, the practitioners, the members we've got. We really thank everyone for everything, you helping us. Oh, you're back.
I think I'm back. They keep trying to get rid of me, but I'm like a cockroach. You can't get rid of me. So yeah, how to get involved. Look, support manifests in many forms, doesn't it? From the time donated by our volunteers to financial contributions that fund our project innovations and our resource library. But we understand that everybody's time is precious. We're all so busy and we've got time constraints. And that might prevent you from volunteering. But a regular donation of any size. And, we had a wonderful initiative back in the day 4 years ago called the Power of the Pound. And it really is the power of the pound, because if we all put a pound in, we would hopefully be able to carry on funding what we're doing right now. Because the reality of our situation, PHA's situation, the Care Project is probably a prime example of the constraints we've got. The video's been ready for 3 years, pretty much. We paid for that. And I think Leandra and I probably chipped in and made that happen personally. But a lack of funding really prevents us from pushing forward with some of these amazing projects that we all benefit from. Things like the online forum. I know Kerry's working on an online apothecary. And, just keeping on developing the practitioner and community directories with full service support. We can't do it without help. And the reality is, in the last 12 to 18 months, those donations have fallen, and we're now running at a deficit at PHA of about £1,000 a month, which in real terms means we've got about 6 months left. We've always flown by the seat of our pants, but it's getting pretty scary now. And so anything that anybody can do to help would be really, really well received. And, every penny, you'd be shocked, every penny we spend requires a full 1 hour conversation by the project team, because we are that careful with what we do with our money. But we can't do it on our own, and if we're going to carry on and reverse this trend so that we can carry on educating, facilitating, collaborating with our members and meet our goal of enabling 10 million people in the UK to take control of their health, then we need your help. If it's not a financial donation, we do have lots of volunteer opportunities, and a massive shout out to our volunteers. We've got some amazing people, and we literally could not survive as a small project team of just 6 people without our volunteers. So it's a huge shout out to the people that really make the magic happen. And I can see a few faces. I nearly said feces then, faces. in the audience, Gar, stop giggling. You know, you're here, you're supporting, and volunteering is good for the mind, body, and soul, isn't it? It's I think the Japanese say it's your ikigai, it's your purpose. And as human beings, having a purpose is what makes us thrive. So if you are interested in volunteering, we've got a couple of very much in need volunteer roles that I'll mention, but, fundraising and grant applications being one. If you can help us to secure new income streams, that would be fantastic. Content research and writing, assisting us with our weekly newsletters, because those weekly newsletters I personally think are blooming amazing, but there's a lot of work goes into them, and one of us has one each month, and it always comes around so quickly because you're doing so many other things. It's like, oh my God, it's my turn next week, and I've got to get it to the lovely Elzette, who's one of our amazing volunteers that actually makes it look beautiful when it goes out. We'd also love to, we just at the moment got my lovely daughter Hannah doing the social media, but it'd be great to have a social media support team that can engage with our followers, manage those accounts, and really start fostering deeper connections and collaborations with people. So if you would like to get involved in any of these areas, please get in touch, either in the chat, or there'll be a slide going up at the end with how to get in touch with us. But there's other ways to get involved as well. If it's not donating or volunteering, how about organising a fundraiser, or running a marathon or a half marathon? I've done a couple of those. Skydive, Village Hall, just rent a Village Hall, 25 quid, Garstang Village Hall, and let's get some practitioners together and, just introduce people to different modalities. You don't know what you don't know. People don't know that they've got choices and options. So let's teach them, let's bring it to them in the community. And also we have signed up to Easy Fundraising, which is great. I'm donating like Billio every time I go shopping, which is too much, according to Mr. Dunnington. Yeah. There's a little kickback for PHA if you sign up on Easy Fundraising. Again, we'll share this, but it's an easy way to do it, whether you're going into your supermarket or your local shop. If they're signed up to Easy Fundraising, it can help us a lot. So everyone has something to offer, I think, is the bottom line, isn't it? Together, we've really created something meaningful, truly meaningful here, and we are still committed and always will be to building on this foundation, reaching more people and making an even greater impact. So thank you everybody. We've still got 46 people here, and we're over an hour and a half in, so that's amazing. Thank you everybody. Thank you for all your input, for being part of the PHA family. And no last minute shout out to our internationals. We have a global PHA family, which is an amazing achievement, isn't it? And I know Linda's here. I've seen Linda from North America. She's been absolutely not given up at any point, and it's not easy. I know Australia, New Zealand, when you've got people spread out over a large area, it's not easy to really galvanize people and bring them together, and they've never given up. So I'd like to just give that shout out to our wider family, and thank you all tonight. I'm going to go before my Wi-Fi really conks out. Thank you.